Oh man, that boot doctor program is terrible. Stargate. No, Stardate. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know, man. Oh man. Okay, that's the title of the video. I just wanted to say something about the boot doctor thing. It's not doing well. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. Okay, 2022, 3/12 Saturday evening. Okay, so I just want to make this video. It's going to be a little bit random from the top of my head. I want to rant about computer stuff. I want to geek out a little bit. I'm going to say a few random things. I'm going to talk about a few of my problems that are local, limited to the computer stuff here. Software, hardware related items, things here relating to all the computers. A few things, not everything, but this is some of the stuff that I was going through today, particularly today, and longer than that, on and off too at the same time. We're not going to talk about other things, internet related, just local related, and just gonna try to get this off of me because it's on top of me and I can't breathe, so I gotta get it off of me. I want to get some stuff off my chest. Ooh, yes. Okay, I'm gonna try to talk boring, monotone. I'm not gonna try to put too many jokes here. I'm not trying to say that I'm funny ever. I am gonna say that I think I'm funny. I've been told that I'm funny, but computer stuff drives me insane sometimes, and I've been upset about them on and off for a really long time because it's like they're not supposed to mess up like people. I can understand people messing up, but robots and computers, not so much. I've talked about this before, and it drives me insane. I like saying the same thing over and over in a lot of videos. I might accidentally say something I've never said before in some of these videos. I was thinking about saying some unspeakable things, but not in this video. Not yet. I'm not ready to come out of the closet, whatever that means. And so I'm just going to say a few things that's on my mind about it, just a few problems. And I'm really bad at saying stuff from the top of my head because I always don't say it right, don't get it out. And I feel like computers should never let me down, but they do. I was copying some of the hard floppy disks over to my computer. I've been working on that last year as well, I think, and then earlier in February I was working on that, and I came back to working on that the last few days or so, and doing that. There was a couple different ways to copy, and then my computer started going slow, and I felt like it was taking a lot of processing power, and I was using the one program, PhotoRec, and I'm using this on my Ubuntu Mate operating system, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, it shouldn't take too much power. I need more power, as seen in Back to the Future. They try to make fun of Marty McFly and say that he needs more power. He's in the future, the year 2015. That was the future, and he's on this hoverboard, this flying skateboard thingy, and then he ran out of power, and then they said, you need more power. And except they didn't sound like that. They sounded like some punks out in the street started making trouble in the neighborhood. And I was thinking to myself, okay, don't make this video too long. Okay, note to myself. Okay, so get to the point. Okay, no, I don't want to get to the point. I like to ramble. I like to rant. I do like to rant. It's fun. Except when you have a million other things to do, which I always have. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, my computer's having a heart attack again. What's new? And what do I do? Why is it taking up all my CPU? And I go look at the monitor, and if I wasn't so goddamn lazy, I'd probably give you some visuals, but don't want to do that. I want to do that, but it'll take more time. So it's going to say, I go to the system monitor and I look, and all four little virtual CPU units are 100%. I say virtual. There's 2 units, and it's split into 2. That means 4 total for the kind of the kind of laptop that I got. It's 4 in 2. 2 divided by 2. Times 2. What am I saying? I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going places where it didn't go, where no Oatmeal has gone before. So I'm thinking to myself, why is Bowser on my screen? Right there. Right here. And Snake on the other side. Well, they want to be a part of my life, I guess, if I had one. I'm thinking to myself, okay, what do I do? I don't know. There are many different ways to copy data and stuff, and I probably should write some articles about it. Whenever I want to do something, I just Google it and I read some articles and I figure it out. And I've been doing it for a while, for decades, going back to the 90s, doing computer stuff, and I feel like I've been through all these problems before, all different kinds of problems, and I feel like I should know better, but I still run into things that surprises me a lot, and this one particular thing I mess in surprised me. That I'm using this program, Test Disk, and I'm using it in the terminal and the command line in Ubuntu, and it's using up all my processes, using up my CPU apparently, unless if I have some viruses and stuff that I don't know about. I cannot say exactly what's going on, but I was a little overwhelmed that everything was going slow and I couldn't go to other websites. I was like multitasking and doing other things, and I wanted to do other things, and I was like, this is taking up too much time, and it was annoying and stuff, and I didn't like it. So the take back, or the conclusion, what's the lesson, what's the moral of the story? It would be that I probably need a better CPU. I do have another laptop, ASUS. How do I say ASUS? One of those laptops. It's the newer one that I'm not using all the time. So I try to use that, but then it wouldn't open. It wouldn't boot up, and then I opened up. I got out my USB stick thing that had the boot doctor on it, and that's the name of the video that I might call this video, the boot doctor. So the boot doctor is supposed to fix problems, because I try to turn on the other laptop, and it took me to BusyBox, and I'm like, okay, why am I in BusyBox? What's going on? What kind of problem is there? Well, there seems to be some kind of problem in the hard drive. Depending on the kind of hard drive it might be. Is it the older kind or is it the newer kind? Well, I don't know. I should know that and probably wrote it down somewhere, but I don't remember. The old kind of hard drive that's been around for too many decades would be HDD, like hard disk drive. The newer one is I think it's like SSD. It's a solid state drive, and there may be pros and cons between the two, as they say, and the SSD kind has been getting better over the years and has received some criticism over the years, and it's been getting better the last few years. In the 2010s, they say, and before that, not as good. And some of the bad reviews might be of the older or the newer ones at that time, when the SSDs started coming out 10 years ago, 20 years ago, however far back they go. And they should be getting better. I don't want to bore you too much with the details. But then again, I want to bore you with the details. But I'm just thinking to myself, what a wonderful day. What a wonderful life. No, not really. I don't know. But I'm just thinking to myself, okay, what kind of hard drives in my computer? Is that the thing that's causing the problem, or is it something else? Could it be something else? Why is there problems? Why didn't it boot up? It's Ubuntu. what kind of problem is there? I mean, is it just because I didn't turn the computer on for like a year, and it does this because it's been idle for so long that it's gonna do this because it didn't have power for so long, and perhaps it couldn't keep it together. It couldn't keep itself together because it didn't have any power, because it's been unplugged, but it was off. And so I'm thinking to myself, it doesn't need power. And I don't know exactly what the problems are, even though I was looking at it today for a few hours trying to figure it out. And these kinds of things bother me. Just to name a few kinds of problems that bother me, computer related, because I'm a nerd, I'm a geek, and I geek out on this kind of stuff. Not that I love computers necessarily. I do and I don't, because I do love basketball a lot more than this. I love a lot of things in life, but I end up getting sucked into this black hole of a nerd world. As much as I like it, I prefer other things, because I'm a part jock, I'm a part athlete, I'm a part all of these other things that I do, including making videos and stuff, and writing, and whatever else that I do. And I get sucked in for a lot of reasons, and one of the reasons is I want to just take care of myself. I want to be as independent as possible. And as you can see behind me, there's a lot of stuff, and that's not even half of it. And I build things, and I put things together, and I like to, take care of myself and do things myself. And I don't want to just tell other people to do stuff. I do stuff myself, and I do a lot of things, and I try to figure out things, and I try to solve problems. And it's frustrating when certain problems happen when you think it's not going to happen, but then it does, and then you're like, why is it happening? What's going on? Kind of thing. And I don't know if I look bad like this. The side of my face, I kind of like the side of my face, and I kind of like things to work. I like using my hands, and I also don't like using my hands. I like to talk monotone, and I also like to not talk monotone. And I'm a very complex and simple man. Let me throw some more paradoxes on you, so that you can think that I have no mind. And from the top of my head, I'm missing maybe two problems, maybe just two problems, and I think that's a good starting point. I just wanted to say a few things for the record for this day, for this 12th day of March, Saturday. It's a beautiful Saturday day, except it wasn't beautiful, it was rainy. And it's 6:42 right now, and in the evening, and I get a little bit annoyed. I try not to get too annoyed, and I try to figure things out, and I try to write it down. I try to keep logs so that I know exactly what I need to do technically. Like, I'm not so much of a like a computer expert, except that I kind of take notes, and I try to remember things so that I don't have to pay a lot of money for other people to do it, kind of thing. And that's my motivation for what I do, what I try to do. I like to know how to do things. I like to problem solve, and fix my own messes, fix my own problems. I want to know, what my options are. And so I'm always thinking about those kinds of things, going back to the 90s and getting accused of breaking people's computers. And I don't want to drag you into some of those stories, which would be kind of fun to talk about, but I wasn't so happy when people are like, "Get away! You're breaking my computer." I'm like, "Oh, I'm only trying to help." And I'm like 12 years old or 14 years old, and different times, all these different stories, and all these different things. I'm learning over time to do things or not to do certain things, and it's pretty devastating sometimes thinking about it. I wanted to note a few random things from the top of my head. I feel like a lot of problems can be solved, but they have to be processed correctly. And when you go into the test disk program, when you go into it, you have the option of selecting a hard drive, and you go into it and you can select what kind of operating system it might have, what kind of what are the settings for it, what kind of partitions does it have, and there's all these different options. And I usually click on none, as to say, like, I don't know, or whatever it is. Or it may, if it's not that, then I'm gonna pick the other option I like is the one that's related to the FAT system, FAT, FAT, and it's usually grouped up with a couple different other systems that are similar to that, but the FAT system is the kind that's most common in Windows. And for Apple operating systems, I forget. I don't use Apple a lot. And as far as Ubuntu goes, and Linux and Unix and all those, they use sometimes they use NTFS, sometimes they use the X3 or X4 file system, and the newest one would probably be X4. I believe, I don't know, I mean, I'm still using X4, and I think about using different ones for the file system, and there's pros and cons between the different types of filing systems. And I believe that you put the operating system onto it or into it, or it's integrated, or it's determined, like an operating system will probably use a certain type of file system, and it's probably required to. And there's pros and cons between the different file systems, and it's important to know, perhaps, if you're trying to undelete files. And you can probably undelete files if you didn't write over it, and that's more of a hardware related issue that you may not actually know whether or not you written over a file or not. You're not gonna know without, I mean, you might know, but you may not really know unless if you've actually done it. And there's ways where you can like totally delete everything on a hard drive, and you have to write zeros and ones over it to make sure nothing is there anymore. Otherwise, it may still be there, and that's good if you want to try to recover something, undelete something. And so you go in there, and there's several different options, a couple different things you can do depending on the program you're using to try to undelete files when you're trying to restore something. So I'm using test disk, for example, and I go in there and I click on no file system, or I don't know what the file system is, and I then I go into there, and one of the next options I select on is what was it? I'm trying to remember. Oh man, a little bit of a brain fog. I think I need some brain force. I don't have any. Let's see. Let me think about this for an example. That's not really an ad, but I like to say it because I think it's kind of funny. It's actually a product, Brain Force. It really is. There's a lot of products out there that's not so good, and some of them are really, really good, but you wouldn't even know about it. until you find people who know about it. Then you know about it, and then it's all good. So I'm thinking to myself, again, always thinking to myself, thinking to myself that I can't remember what I do. I'm gonna have to just like look around on my computer and to try to remember. Go into the terminal, go through the options, and click on undelete, like something like that. Undelete the programs, and then I select the destination to where the files will be recovered to. And that's similar to what you'll find if you're in the recycling bin and you want to undelete a file, or you're in your email account and you're undeleting emails from your spam folder, or the what do they call it, recycling bin, and then it goes out and goes into the inbox folder. So it's kind of like that. So you go into the test disk program and you click on that, and I'm not giving you all the tests, all this, what am I saying, all the steps. But that's not the point of the video. The video is not really here to help anybody. Wow. I wanted to make a video where I rant for 20 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up really quickly. So I'm thinking this out loud. Maybe not doing the best job. I said a few things I thought it was noteworthy. Said a few things. There's a lot more I want to say about computer stuff. I like talking about computer stuff, but I also want to talk about other stuff too. But I'm just thinking about that and thinking as far as like undeleting stuff. You could do that. You could click on undelete, or you can make an image file and just like copy everything that's on the hard drive, or it could be a floppy disk. It could be, something. It doesn't have to be just like a hard drive, but there's a few options. But the program can go in there and you could try to like copy the files, or copy undeleted deleted files, and you could try to copy the image, or the just like the entire drive and everything that's on it, regardless of whether or not there's something there or not. You're able to copy it, and the advantage to that is if you feel like the drive is going to die, if you feel like it's taking too much time to go in and recover things, then you might as well just copy it, especially if you don't know what's going to happen. Hard drives can die, they can do anything. You don't know, and so it's like you're going in and you're getting it out, and you're basically like making a copy of it, and you're putting it in a safer place as is, and then you can do more work to it when it's outside of the drive or the disk or whatever it is. Then you don't have to worry about any damages or anything that might happen because of decay or whatever the case might be. And so it's good to try to do that, to have backups and to do everything you can do. And I'm going through the process of doing this kind of thing with the discs and the hard drives and a bunch of DVDs and CDs and even videotapes and audio tapes, and so I do all that kind of stuff, and a little upset that my computer is having problems, and both of them are, and I have them right here. I'm looking at them, and then I have a bunch of other like computer things, and have a bunch of cords and cables and all kinds of stuff. I'm not exactly a man of mystery. I'm gonna go now. I was gonna say a bunch of other stuff, like I was gonna compare myself, or not compare myself, to James Bond and Batman and Inspector Gadget. and who knows what else. But you have all these people, and they have all these like gizmos and gadgets, and I'm like one of them. But I feel like I'm making a lot of progress, but I'm not happy because I'm not there yet, and I feel like perhaps I should have been, and I haven't been there already, and I'm getting there too, and I don't know. Till next time, I think, or maybe never. Maybe there will never be another update of one of these things ever again. I'm only a nerd. I can't do this all the time.